Hey guys, I wanted to hop on today. I dropped Landon off at his first day of school this morning. It's always a bittersweet time of year for me. To be honest, I can't stand them when school starts. It's just they're getting older and I love having them home during the summer. And so when school starts, Gabrielle is still home today. She doesn't start until Monday. And so it kind of feels like it's not really the first day. Monday will be a lot harder, but Landon started today. I thought I would get on. I get a lot of the same questions about Chalk Couture and what it is. So I thought I would get on today and answer the main questions I have. The sun is coming through this window so brightly that it was all washed out. I couldn't do it, so I had to shut that shade. But I think there's still enough light on here. So I thought we're going with it. We're just running with it. So what I wanted to do was get on here and just kind of answer some of the main questions I get about Chalk Couture and what it is and how it works and why I do some things when you see the videos I share. So I thought I would just get on and walk through an easy project so you can see why I do and talk through the project to see why I do what I do when I'm doing these. So Chalk Couture are these silk screens that a lot of people ask if they're stencils, and they are not stencils. They are silk screens, and so they come pre-made. You don't make them. They come pre-made. They have a cajillion different options, and some big, some small. Like here are some real small, just the square ones for different things. And then they have really big ones, and I didn't get any of those out, but let me move this. So, first question I get all the time is, are they stencils? They are not stencils. They are silk screens. Second question I get a lot is, can I make my own? And now that sun wants to move. Can I make my own? And no, they come pre-made. And they have stuff for different seasons. And there are some where there's letters and numbers, so you could kind of make your own thing. But for the most part, they come pre-made. Chalkology paste. I'm just opening a clearance chalkboard I got last year in the Target dollar bin. I think it was $1.25 or $1.75. So I'm just opening that. So Chalkology paste is just school chalk in paste form. It is just school chalk in paste form. That is all it is. And then there is ink they have as well that you can use on fabric and things like coffee mugs, and I feel like I have to move back because of that sun, that you want to be more permanent. Chalkology paste, you can wipe off and wipe away, so you can reuse, a surface that you put it on. You can, I've never done this because, here, let me show you. If you saw this, I just made this little sign. And so this is not moving. So when I say it's school chalk, it is, but it's in paste form. So once you get it on a board or a surface or whatever, it's not moving. Like, I'm not going to be able to wipe this off with normal wear and tear. But if I get it wet, then it will come off. So you could use like a spray poly or clear spray paint to make it more permanent, but I don't think you need to because I always want the option to reuse like this chalkboard, and it doesn't move. If people are touching it and stuff, it's not going to move and come off. But if I put like a spray poly on it, then it would make it more permanent. It wouldn't come off. So, I'm not going to use this one today. But to get this off, all you have to do is spray it with some water. And then just let it sit for a couple seconds or a minute. And then, see, it comes right off. So when I say that, like, all the surfaces that Chalk Couture sells, and I left the link up above, so you guys can head to that link and you can shop all this stuff. But, so, these are all reusable. And so I'm not going to go through, and he might take a little bit longer, but as you can see, he's coming off too. And then you just wipe it away. And then you would just reuse this to make another sign. My favorite thing about this paste, well, two of my favorite things. Number one, I like to be creative, but sometimes I don't want to go through the hassle of coming up with the projects, getting the supplies, and I just want to do something. I just want to create something, and Chalk Couture makes it so easy. So I can make, I mean, I pick up things like this out of, you know, when things like this are on clearance. This is just like a wood notepad that I got on clearance at Target after Valentine's Day. I pick up things like this and I can make signs and all kinds of things without having to think about it, because I just pick up a transfer and my chalk paste and it's done for me. So that's one of my favorite things, because I can just create without having to really think about it, but yet I feel like I did a good project. My second favorite thing is that these are all reusable. So it's not a one and done. I feel like I get a lot of bang for my buck for the products that you get. These, you can use them over and over and over again. Yes, Julie, you did your front door. You should share a photo of that in the comments. That's amazing. So Tammy, if you just go up to the link I put up above in the description, everything is in there. It's all in that my shop. So what was I saying? My favorite thing. Oh, I can reuse these. So, I mean, I've used a lot of them over a dozen times. So they're just, if you wash them right when you're done, and they're just washable, you just wash them. And then you put them back on their back after they've dried. And you can get more backing and all that in the store, and then they're reusable. So for me, I know I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck, and so I like that. If these were just one and done, I would, you're welcome, Tammy, I would not love them so much. But to know that I can use them over and over again on so many different surfaces makes me happy. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of do, this is just that chalkboard. Like I said, I got at Target on clearance. Chalk Couture sells, this is a Chalk Couture chalkboard. So there's tons of surfaces in the Chalk Couture in the shop above. I don't know how I should do this and show this all to you. So pumpkin spice and everything nice. I used this last year, I think, on 4 or 5 different things. And so I thought, since it's fall, I do love fall. Fall is my favorite season, but the whole back to school in fall is not my favorite. So basically you're just going to pull it off. They come on little like sticker backs. Did you guys used to have sticker collections when you were little? I did. Here is a fuzzing cloth. It's a Chalk Couture one. You don't have to have this. You can just use a normal cotton towel. That's what I used before I got one of these. And so if I'm opening up here, let me lay this down. I'll just show you this one. If I'm opening up a new transfer for the first time, it's real, and I'm putting it on a hard surface. If I was doing this on fabric, I would not fuzz it at all. Do not fuzz it if you're using the ink and the fabric and on fabric. But if it's a new one especially, I always fuzz it, just because it's really sticky, and sometimes if the chalk paste is drying quickly, it'll pull off when you pull the transfer off. So that's another question I get asked a lot. What am I doing with this thing? I'm just fuzzing them. And sometimes, like this one I've used a few times. If you've used one over and over again, sometimes I don't feel like I have to fuzz it, but when you wash them, the fuzz comes off. And so I'm just fuzzing it. That's all I'm doing. Just fuzzing it before. I sometimes do it a couple times, if you've seen in the videos. That's all I'm doing with that. And so, see, I wanted to do this with the camera up above me, and then I was going to use Matt's iPad for, like, to see the comments, but he took his iPad to work. So I'm trying to improvise here so you guys can still see, and I can still see your comments or questions. So anyway, so basically all you do is you're just going to put this where you want it on whatever surface you're doing. And you want to make sure you get it down. It's kind of hard to see if it's straight when I'm sitting down like this. So you want to put this down so everything is flat and the surface is flat. And then what you're going to do is I'm using plastic knives because my daughter used all of the popsicle sticks in her crafting madness. So you can also use, like here they have, I wanted to just show you guys, you don't have to buy this. I used popsicle sticks before I bought all these other things with it, and it works just fine. So I'm just going to open this orange paste. I'm going to show you what the paste looks like. And it's just school paste. Okay, see now this is, I'm going to show you this. It's kind of dry for me. So I'm just squirting water inside and all over my transfer. And then I'll just stir it up and then it'll be the right consistency. And you can't, especially with the paste, you can't mess this up. Like I said, if I did all this and it was all, yes. How do they stay sticky? You know what? I don't know. They are reusable. Yes, they are reusable. That's one of my favorite things about them. And how do they stay sticky? I don't know what they did to make these stay sticky, because when you're done with this, you wash them and then you let them dry fully, and then you just put them right back on the backing, and then they stay sticky. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I just kind of want this a little more, not so pasty. That's a technical term. Not so pasty. I just want it a little thinner. Okay. And so what you're going to do is you're just going to put some, his iPad would have been helpful. Okay, so I'm just going to put some of the chalk paste up here. And some people put, oh, see like that? Like, don't worry about that. You can just wipe it off. But anyway, some people put painter's tape around the edge of your transfer. You can just wipe it up if you got it over on the side. So anyway, you kind of, depending on your weather too, some days and some seasons, this stuff dries really fast, and so I have to work fast. But I'm going to use this squeegee that we have, which just because it's a little bigger and it'll go quicker. We have littler ones and even smaller ones than like this, and then you can cut them in half if there's little details and stuff, or you're wanting to change colors. I've mixed, so I'm just going to scrape this down. You guys see that okay? I'm just going to scrape this down. I'll show you another favorite thing. There's a lot of favorite things. Okay. All of that I don't need to use, and so I just put it right back in the pot. And so one Chalkology paste will last you a long time because you do not need much. So I just wiped that off. That all just went back in there. So I'm just going to smooth this out. Again, if you get it off the edge, don't worry about it. I kind of want to go off the edge to just show you how forgiving this stuff is. And it's not. And if you pull it up and you don't like it, pick it up, wipe it off, and just do it again. But within, how long did that take me? I don't even know. A minute or so. So I went off the edge here to show you that, that's okay. Then you just want to pull it off, and you have your sign made. Now you can do this on any hard surface. I've made, like Matt has made me wood signs, just from scrap wood we have in the garage, and I've used it on that. You can do it on chalkboards, obviously. Any hard surface. I've done it on galvanized pails. I've done it on, gosh, I'm trying to think of what else I've done it on. The mugs and stuff, you use the ink for it. But, okay, so I'm going to show you this. Okay, there's the sign. And now, another question I get is, I'm just wiping here. You guys can see this. I'm just wiping off the excess. And I'm just using a Clorox Lysol wipe, to wipe off this excess. I have used a hair dryer, like in between. If you have a huge transfer and you're maybe you're doing more colors, or it's just a bigger transfer. If you can pull it up and dry what you can use, what you would use on the fabrics is the ink. So they have ink, which is more permanent, and then you would heat set it with an iron, or if you had like a heat press, just use an iron. So you would just heat press it. and then it stays. But what I was saying was, when you're using a bigger transfer and stuff, if you kind of dry it in sections, then when you pull the whole thing off, it's not pulling, it doesn't have time to set, if that makes sense. So what I'm doing here is I am just using that wipe, and I am just wiping off the utensil. I mean, you guys, it's just so simple, and I can have something made and feel like I did something. Make sure you kind of close your chalk, your paste. You don't want it to dry out, but you can just add water to, and then I'm just cleaning it off with this. And then I will show you how I clean the transfers, especially when I'm doing videos like this. If I'm not doing videos, or I'm just, taking photographs, or just, I'm not going to plug my hairdryer in, but I will show you. I would plug my hairdryer in just to dry this. But in minutes, you have like a perfectly, I used to try to make chalkboard signs all the time, and my writing and the chalk didn't work. This stuff makes it so easy. Okay, I thought that was another question. And so, what was I saying? I can't remember. I think I was saying something else, but I'm going to show you how I wash it. Oh, if I'm not doing videos, I just put this in my sink down here in our bathroom, and I just put it in a sink with water and rub it, and that's the best way to do it. It's the easiest way to do it. It comes right off. But I have this work table here, and so I'm just wiping off the surface there, and then I'm just putting this right down on my table, and I am just using a wipe I'm gonna wipe off the front really well. You want to get them, I mean, if you want to reuse them, obviously, you want to get them really clean. The wipes are just convenient and easy. And some people say they don't like using wipes. I have never had a problem with any of my transfers, so that's what I use. You could use just a spray bottle and a bunch of, oh, you're welcome. Yes, the link is up above in the description. It's right up there. All of the goodies are in there. They have some great fall ones now, and so Christmas will be coming up. So, and they have Halloween out now too. So then you just pull it off. I'm going to wipe off this surface because it's all orange now. And then I'm going to put it upside down. Whoops. I'm going to put it upside down here. And now I'm taking off all the fuzz that I put on with that cloth, or just use a towel. And any of the paste that came through or is still on that side. But you guys, that's it. You can mix pastes and inks to get your own color. I did bring this out. Let me finish one thing. I have so many things to say that I go from one thing. I go too quick. So once this is done, I leave this, I'll set this aside, and I leave it upside down like this and wait till it's fully dry. So I may not get to this till tomorrow. And then once it's fully dry, I will put it back on its backing, and then it's good to go for the next time. So I'm just going to set this to the side over here. There are so many, you guys can see that. I can't see it through the color options in both the paste, I always have black and white because I feel like I use them the most. But I mean, this is just, I have so much more over there too. You can find any color you need, but you can also mix them too. I have mixed them when I was just starting and just kind of playing around with it to see if I liked it. I would mix them to get the color I wanted. You can do, like on this one, you can do like a ombre effect. So you could do, darker orange, lighter orange, white, or do like a candy corn color. And then as you put them on, mix it with your finger in between the two colors, and it looks really cool when you do that. To be honest, if you love to create and sometimes you just don't want to do all the extra stuff and you just want to make something, it's a lot of fun. I really love it. So I just wanted to get on here because I feel like I get the same questions. And so I thought if I kind of walked through a project and how I do it, how I clean it, why I use this cloth that people ask, that would answer some questions. And so if you don't have any other questions, I'm going to hop off now. I have one more day with Gabrielle before she starts school on Monday to spend the day with her. She's having some friends over this afternoon. But I may get on, once the kids are back in school, I want to try and get on here more and more and share more projects. So you can look forward to that. And if you have any questions or you're watching this on replay, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to them throughout the day or this weekend. So I hope that helped. I hope that answered some of your questions. I put a lot of these projects on my Instagram stories, but I do push them through to Facebook stories. So you can find them always on there too. So, okay. It's Friday, you guys. Have a good Friday and then a great weekend.